up? My name is Matthew McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin McCack.
Hey, everybody.
This is Room 51, where we talk all things board gaming. And today we are doing a top five list. We don't do this all that often. Just
No.
a top five, legitimate top five list, not a 5 for 5 or anything like that. But this is our top five games that we sort of wish existed, or rather, I guess it's the top five IPs that we wish existed in a board game.
Yeah.
Now, we realize some of these IPs might actually already be used for some board games, like either in the mass market world, but we're talking
Right.
about modern hobbyist board games
Yeah.
that crack at least like the top 5,000 of Board Game Geek or something like that, right? I think that there might be some games on here that are like, yeah, there's a couple of games that exist in the hobby world, but they don't do quite what I want it to do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go from that, yeah.
Yeah, it does. So this is definitely something kind of new for us. I'm excited to do this IP list. The thing that kills me is it's one of those lists that I'm gonna be like watching a show one day and be like, "Oh, how did I not say
Dang it,
this?"
yes, yeah.
Or-
Now I do want to mention that we did something like this, kind of
Yeah.
similarly to this anyway, a while back.
Yeah.
I think it was just for the podcast, not for
Pure
YouTube.
audio
It
days.
was
Pure
pure
audio.
audio, yeah. We didn't go into a top five, but we did. We just spoke a little bit about it. I think we had a guest.
Yeah, that was the Ryan and Bethany episode. Was
No,
it? John and Manada? One Pip
no,
Wonder?
no.
Not. Oh. All right. I
Yeah.
don't remember now.
Anyway, go check it out.
Yeah, so we will too. Shoot, I was convinced it was Ryan and Bethany.
No, Ryan and Bethany, I think we did filler games.
No, that was maybe.
Anyway, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Check it all out.
For sure.
But let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it.
So, will I be starting us off or you?
Do it, Justin.
All right, and I don't remember if you said this. The IP I want the most, number one.
Yeah, same.
Out of this list, the one that's the least is my number 5, and my number 5 is based on a Pixar movie that I was watching last week. Absolutely love it. Monsters Inc. I think there's a legitimate game that can be made having something to do with the going into the doors and staring the kitties to get the energy. That is a Euro game in the making.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised there's nothing really about this.
Not to my knowledge, right? And I think that is an IP that is just waiting to be used. Love the movie. Love Monsters Inc. Love Monsters University. Also, fantastic. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Especially, I mean, if you have kids or not, you're gonna love it. And yeah, I think it's just a board game actually waiting to be made. It's my number 5 because there are IPs closer to my heart that I want to see more. But
Yeah.
I think this is such a solid IP that would be great to see in a board game.
Cool. I'm one of the rare people, I think, that actually like Monsters University better than the original movie, which rarely ever happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, my number 5 is Death Note. So this is an anime, and I was imagining like a 2-player game where you have one person playing as L, who's sort of like this detective kind of person, super brilliant, and the other person is playing Kira, the killer. I think that's Japanese for killer.
Something like that. I think you're right about that.
No,
yeah, I think they were using the word Kira, which they were saying was like the American root for killer. Like
well,
I
anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that it'd be cool, like whoever is playing Kira or Light Yagami, whatever, they're trying to figure out like who it actually is, who has the death note, right? Who's killing all these people. Meanwhile, the person who's playing as Light or Kira is trying to get their ideology across without being found out.
Yeah, that is a fantastic one. That's already one I'm kicking myself on because I was trying to think of animes and I was only coming up with Haikyuu and One Punch Man. I was like, I don't really need to see either of those in a board game. Death Note would be an awesome 2-player game. I'm totally with you on that. All right.
So should I go into my number 4?
Yeah. Go for it. We do like a snake style usually.
Let's do that snake. My number 4 is actually my whole list is cartoons except for one game. But this is a cartoon. slash, I guess. So most of my picks are cartoon slash anime. So
Oh.
this one is Shaolin Showdown.
Oh, okay, nice.
I thought it would be really cool if you had like a cooperative game of this where it would probably be like a 4-player game where you could each play as one of the characters. I forgot all of their names except for Raimundo, who is my favorite character on that show. And I think one was like Kiki or something.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
but yeah, and you each have like special abilities and special powers, and you're trying to get all of those. I forgot what they were called, but like artifact things that give you
Yeah.
extra special abilities, and you're trying to go up against the big bad evil. So I thought that'd be really cool.
I think that's an awesome one. Also, now that you said that all of yours are cartoons, it's interesting. I have 2 video games on my list and 1 cartoon that I'm very curious if you put down. All right, but that's an awesome one. That was a fantastic show. My number 4 is a video game icon that I absolutely love and adore, Super Mario. I don't know of a good Super Mario board game. And I even wrote down next to it possibly Kart for a Mario Kart board game. That
I know a lot of people use it for Downforce.
They do, which I seriously need to get. I haven't found it for a good price. Yeah, that's fair, but it's Mario. And I'm so down for the Mario IP. I love Mario stuff. I think it's such a cool aesthetic. And I love the Mario games. And I think either a Kart board game or some sort of cool way that you can make like the jumping in a board game. I don't know. Maybe it's a programming game, whatever it is. I think Mario would be awesome to see in board gaming. I think Mario is just an awesome gaming icon, and I would love to see him in board gaming.
I think Mario Kart would be really cool too. Like you have a legit race, and it's like, and you could get those crates or whatever for the special abilities, mushroom, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. The mystery power stuff, those boosts. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be done there, and you can make it super kooky. All right.
Nice, dope. All right, on to our number 3.
So my number 3 is another Nintendo video gaming icon, The Legend of Zelda. So I know what's the Tiny Epic? Tiny Epic Quest is essentially Legend of Zelda, but yeah, I know, but like I know that you probably feel the IP a bit in it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You know, I was imagining kind of like you said a 2-player game where one person is like the evil Ganon, and the other person is essentially Link and Zelda and all that, and Ganon is trying to spread his evil, and the Link Zelda is trying to get through it and kind of defeat Ganon in the end, kind of thing. And you want to do it before Ganon spreads too far, kind of like a War of the Rings style, but probably not that heavy. One of those things where it's somewhat asymmetric, playing on the big board. That's really thematic. I would absolutely love that. I think there's so much that can be done there as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I almost want just a pure solo game. Legend of Zelda board game solo, going through stuff. It could even be if you wanted, I don't know. I think that would be cool. And there could be like deduction involved.
Yeah, the puzzles. Get through 4 temples and then kill the bad guy. Make sure, like a dungeon crawl puzzle though, like a very puzzly kind of dungeon crawl. Almost. That'd be really cool.
That'd be dope. And with the sense of adventure.
Yeah, it has to have that, exactly.
All right.
Awesome.
My number 3. So this is the only live action show. I think all of my stuff are based on television shows. But yeah, this is the only live action show on the list, and it is Stranger Things.
Okay.
I know that they came out with like the mass market in an Eggo case thing, which is cool, gimmicky, whatever, but I hear that the game is trash. It's mass market, but I would like a legit hobby board game for Stranger Things. I know that there is this 2-player game. Oh gosh, the name escapes me, but it kind of resembles it in a bit.
It's like the Upside Down world, right? It plays off of that.
So I'm like, it kind of looks like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what I would love to see is a 1 versus all, right? One side is playing, so the one would be playing the Upside Down world, right? Trying to, take over. And then the all could be the 4 kids, or they keep adding people, but those could be expansions in the game. But you could have the core 4, right? And then in expansions or whatever, or maybe even just in the core game, right? Like you could acquire these friends along the way and blah blah blah. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I thought that would be really cool, and I really like Stranger Things, and it would be a really cool horror themed game, I think. And
I'm
it'd be
with it.
really nice if they really nailed the tension
Yeah.
in this game, because I feel like a lot of times horror board games, they don't scare you
Yeah.
necessarily. I would love a board game to legit scare me. I don't
Yeah.
know how you would do it exactly, but that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that would be a cool IP. I'm not as big of a fan of the IP, but I do want to watch it to give it more chance. But I feel you. I think that'd be a cool name.
Love it. All right. So on to our number 2, and my
Yeah.
number 2, I am certain will come up a little bit later
All right,
on
so I know
Justin's
it is.
list. Um, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but mine is Avatar: The Last Airbender. If it's not on Justin's list, he must have done this in like a coma or something. um, but we this is something that Justin and I have spoken a lot about, and even like in how we would make this game.
Yeah.
But let's just say it might be War of the Ring esque, but with
Yeah.
more of a sense of adventure and journeying and everything. And
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have Justin continue later talking about it. But go for it, Justin. You're number 2.
Awesome. Yeah. So, well, my number 2, I'm wondering what you think of this one. I will be shocked if this is your number 1, though. I put down Codename Kids Next Store.
That's a good one.
And that one hit my number 2. I was really surprised about that. So
Wow.
this, if you don't know, Codename Kids Next Door is a cartoon from our childhood. It was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. It was so cool. It was like these kids had this underground secret spy-ish organization where they would
Yeah.
always fight against the teenagers and the adults kind of thing.
Yeah. The evil ones.
The evil ones, exactly. And it's like there's so much that can be done
Oh my
with
God.
this IP. It was
Yeah.
just it was a fantastic cartoon. Absolutely loved it. And I think that it would translate so well into board game. I think you can make such cool board games out of this IP for sure.
Yeah. I think for sure this could be a game that if they were to make it, it should be a game that is super fun for kids and super fun for adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh man, that one slipped my mind. That would have been a good pick.
Yeah, when that one hit my mind, I was like, "This one's gonna go high." Because oh man, I love that cartoon, and I knew it was gonna be one that probably you're not hitting your list, like you're not thinking of it, but
Yeah.
might have hit your list after realizing it.
Yeah. If they did it really good, that could be a lot of fun.
A ton, yeah.
If they don't do it good, it could be really dumb.
Yeah, it would be devastating. Actually,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work if they don't do it well at
Yeah.
all. All right.
right.
Yeah, so on to my number 1,
This
and as Melissa mentioned, if you know me well enough, you definitely this is my number 1 pick, Avatar: The Last Airbender. To me, that is the greatest intellectual property ever created. It is just phenomenal. Specifically, yes, I definitely like Korra. I'm not a Korra hater, but I would want it to be the original Aang group, Team Avatar, the original Team Avatar. I wanted it to be based around that. Those 3 seasons were that was my childhood, my adolescence, everything. It was with me from once I saw it till now. Like it is fantastic. And yeah, like you said, we've spoken a lot about how we would make this game. And in a lot of ways, the idea is, well, War of the Ring is Lord of the Rings in a box. I kind of would want Avatar: The Last Airbender in a box. That's what I would want. And the whole nature of, like you said, of the journeying out and exploring and the discovery of this world around you, because that's what Avatar: The Last Airbender nailed, was world building. The world building was phenomenal in it. The magic system of bending in it was pretty much flawless, at least in the original one. We won't talk about season 2 in Legend of Korra. So that I'll just say that, okay. But I mean, and it needs to have this whole epic rise to a climactic finish. especially with Sozin's comment at the end kind of thing, which is the big thing in Avatar: The Last Airbender, making sure something like that is involved. There's so much that can be done with this IP, and I feel like the best way to do it is put it into a box. Put the whole thing into a box, a huge box. And I would drop hundreds. If it was the real thing, hundreds, okay? Not thousands, but hundreds, right?
Like 2 of them.
Yeah, probably once you're talking 3, it's like, okay, come on now.
Yeah, I almost put Korra as well on the list, but I went with the original Avatar because I do like it more.
Yeah,
I like Korra a lot,
same.
and I
same.
almost wanted it just for by representation,
Yeah, there you go.
but I wound up not because I would more look for the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Same.
Stuff.
Korra could be an expansion or something, I guess. No, I'm seriously
Honestly,
not a Korra, but
sequel.
yeah,
A
sequel to it,
you know,
something
whatever.
like that, and do it
It
right.
could be a whole line. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care.
I really do though like Korra. I don't want to sound like a total Korra hater because there are a lot of those, and Korra doesn't need any more hate. She was a good Avatar. I really like Korra as the Avatar. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Although,
I'm with you.
She's getting love all of a sudden now, and I'm like, this is what I've been saying for years.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it finally it's like come back once
Yeah.
it hit Netflix. Fine,
Yeah.
and I'm glad for it because it received way too much hate, and it still does get too much hate.
Yeah.
But some of it, man, is like, oh, you need to do that better, in my opinion.
All right. Well, my number 1 is the reason I wanted to do this list at all, just because it gave me a reason to talk about this show.
I'm an idiot for
yeah,
not
I'm
being
really
able to think
shocked
your
that you weren't
number
even
one.
thinking.
I'm
So
so stupid.
This is a cartoon / anime, kind of, but it's a cartoon. It was American made. And this is my favorite show of all time. It used to be Battlestar Galactica was my favorite show of all time. And I almost put that on the list just because technically there's nothing in print right now for BSG.
I thought it was gonna be your number 5. I really thought it was gonna be.
I almost got cheeky with it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is She-Ra, Princesses of Power. This is the remake of the original She-Ra, right? So this is I think it came out in 2018. If there was a board game based on, like a good board game, a hobbyist good board game based on this IP, I would spend whatever. Like, take my money. I will love this board game forever and ever, okay? Because this is my... So the possibilities are endless for this game. You could do so many things. So I've thought of a couple of things. There's one episode called Battle of Bright Moon where, the Horde is versing the Rebel Alliance, and it's over this nation, let's call it a Bright Moon. So it's this huge battle. You could do it, right? And I was
Kingdom,
thinking,
I guess.
a kingdom, yeah, sorry. So it's a kingdom. And I was kind of thinking of, what's it called? Queen's.
Star Wars Queen's Gambit?
Star Wars Queen's Gambit, yeah.
That's what it's called, right?
I think so, but now I'm thinking of the Netflix show.
I'm just gonna double check because I want to be like one of those, internet idiots that now we like look so. Yeah, it's Star Wars: The Queen's Gambit.
I always feel like you could do something with that because there's so many different things that are going on in this battle. You could have Adora versus Catra in one area, and then like people trying to take over the magical source or whatever in this area, and then just like the fight itself between the princesses and everything. It's just, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You could even do, if you wanted to especially span the entire way through for the whole show, you could do a 1v all. I like 1v all stuff. You could do the one being Horde Prime and just the Horde itself versus the Best Friend Squad,
Yeah.
And or just make both games. Just make tons of games for She-Ra, Princesses of Power.
I got one for you. She-Ra, the Resistance She-Ra. Everybody is playing as Hordeats, but 2 of them are Hordeats that are like the good Hordeats.
They're the wrong Hordeats.
They're the wrong kind of Hordeats. Yeah. I got it.
Stop. But yeah, and this also has LGBTQ plus representation throughout the cartoon.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. And you could have that in the board game. Board games need more of it. And so somebody make it.
Yeah.
get in touch with Noelle Stevenson. I'm sure she would be down. One of the episodes actually is a parody of Dungeons and Dragons, which is cool.
Yeah, that's right.
So Noelle Stevenson, yeah, he has made awesome stuff. I've read their graphic novels, comic books. Okay, just I'm pumping this up. Just check out Noelle Stevenson
Just
and
walked
check out
in.
this show.
You made us
Oh,
do a
God.
top 5 list so you could talk about this one thing.
Pretty much so I could absolutely like spread the glory of the show.
I'm so
and gush
mad at
about it.
myself. How didn't I think of
I don't
Shira
know.
for your number?
This was literally the reason I wanted to make this list, just so I could talk about Shira.
But what's wrong with me? Like, how
don't
did
know.
I? That's all you've been talking about, and thinking about your wallpaper on your computer,
Yeah.
your phone background, everything.
Yeah. My birthday theme was Shira.
Yeah, that's right. Mine was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It was, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh snap!
We specifically asked for this to happen.
Yeah, we did.
Mostly me. I specifically asked for
Yeah,
a Shira
you really
themed
wanted the
birthday
Shira birthday. That is true.
party. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm so happy I got to talk about the show.
I'm
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's on Netflix.
with you
5
though. It is
seasons.
fun. It's a fun show for sure.
It's not just
Especially,
fun. It is
absolutely.
monumental.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, 100% monumental. Shira is very good though.
Shira is monumental for the LGBTQ plus community.
That's true. That's true.
It is legitimately progressive. It is.
Yes.
It has changed the course of history
Yeah.
for cartoons and for America.
Historians are going to look at Shira and say that that was the start of the third wave of feminism in America. I feel it. I can smell it.
Well, that there's feminism in here too. Like, oh my, but the story is so good too. The psychology behind it. Just everybody,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
This is the greatest show ever made, and I don't care what anybody says.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, I just do want to mention, for a kid, with being able to really see a group of kids that have these bending abilities explore the earth and beat the big bad like that, like, phenomenal.
Dude, if you have young girls, they need to watch Shira.
Yeah.
If you have young boys, they best be watching Shira.
Yeah.
And if you've got young kids of other genders, they need to watch Shira.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend both of those shows need to be watched. They're both on Netflix if you have Netflix, by the way, to kind of plug that.
Oh, the original Avatar is also on Netflix now?
Yeah. It better still be, because I was.
I know it went off
that.
at some point.
It went off and it's back on everything. Ooh, that was loud.
All right.
Is it still on? It is. Okay, perfect.
All right,
Both
cool.
Avatar and Legend of Korra.
Nice. I actually almost put the Dragon Prince. So that's also the writers of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't put Dragon Prince because these were a little bit closer to home. Dragon Prince is another great show if you want to go watch that. This has become a top 5 shows.
That is another thing to mention. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show. On Netflix, there's a movie.
Oh, you have to watch that.
Don't watch that.
I mean, you can watch it.
No.
Don't.
Watch it if you're in the mood for a bad movie. Like, not even saying that sarcastically. If you feel like you want to laugh at a really bad movie for an hour and a half, watch that. Go for it.
Yeah, but only after you actually watch the original cartoon.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. All right.
Another honorable mention, real quick. Kipo, Age of Wonder Beasts.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Yeah.
I almost thought of that. That's another great show.
Fantastic.
Also has LGBTQ plus representation.
And that one, you can do some really cool thing with the whole Wonder Beast part of it. The Age of
Yeah, it
cool
really
stuff.
almost made my list, but it didn't hit as close to home just yet for me.
Oh man, you can make like Kipo, the Age of Wonder Beast, Starlemagne's Reign, and like you do like one player Starlemagne, maybe something like that, or it's a co-op.
Yeah.
And then you do another game that's after Starlemagne. So in the first game it's a co-op against Starlemagne. Next game you have Starlemagne on your team, kind of thing.
Dude, you could have. Actually, would that be a spoiler? I'm not going to say anything. Anyway,
I think I just spoiled.
Thank you so much for watching and or listening. This has been Room 51. We'll catch you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
I got PP. Bye bye.